Good morning everybody, welcome back to another video. Surprise surprise, we are at another bike racing track. So we are in Colchester this weekend. It is the 2nd of August. It was actually mine and Jack's 5-year anniversary yesterday. So we went out for dinner last night for a lovely Italian in one of the local restaurants and it was blooming gorgeous. Jack, bless him, he went out on a training race prep ride last night at it was an hour and a half at about 4:30, and maybe about 5 o'clock he absolutely tipped it down and he got soaked, bless him. But yeah, we're at Colchester this weekend. He is doing the, I think it's Sherpa 2-day stage race. So he's got, I think it's 2 crits today, or it's a crit and a time, I think it's 2 crits today and a time trial tomorrow and then a road race tomorrow, or it could be a combination of any of those things. All I know is we're here today. He's doing it one way this morning and then he's doing it another way this afternoon, and then tomorrow I've got to do feeding, but I'm sure there's a time trial in the morning, 8 or 9k time trial, not really sure. I'll get Jack to fill you in, but anyway, I just thought that we would film this weekend. I know it seems like our channel is heavy on the bike racing content, but unfortunately that's just the way our life is at the minute. But August, the season probably will finish late September, October, I'd imagine, so there won't be that many races left now. But there aren't that many stage races in general that is available, so Jack wanted to get a little bit more racing in August, and this is not that far from home. It's about a couple of hours. So travelled up this morning. I actually got up this morning and went for a run. So I did 5.3k, which is the longest I've run for a really long time. I wasn't actually planning on running that far, to be honest with you, because I didn't feel very well yesterday at all. And then after we had, obviously, the Italian, was feeling extremely sluggish. But I actually woke up feeling really, really good this morning. So went for my run. And yeah, now we're here. Pretty much here all day. We're staying in a Travelodge just down the road today. Obviously here again tomorrow, and then we're driving down to my mum's to go and collect my niece, because I've got her for a few days next week to help out during the summer holidays. So the race starts at 10:30, so literally in 4 minutes. So I'm going to go set up my little camping chair at the side of the track and I will get a couple of clips as always. So hope you guys enjoy, and we'll check in with you in a bit. I'm just going to have my lunch now. It's a bit of a random concoction, to be honest. It's literally just noodles, prawns, some peppers and some sweet corn and mushrooms, and Jack cooked it in, I think, a bit of hoisin teriyaki or soy, I'm not sure which, but basically wasn't sure what to have, so hopefully it's nice. But I'm just going to eat this. Jack's just out faffing around with his other bike, and we're just waiting now. It's about 1:30 and the next race isn't until 3 o'clock. we are getting good at this travelling lark now. Brought with me a little bit of fairy liquid in an old hand soap bottle, sponge, doing the washing up so we don't have so much to do the other end. I am prepared.
Hello everyone, sorry, you'll see I'm laughing and smiling because there's just a little floating head in the bed next to me. Anyway.
I am not presentable.
Anyway, just a quick update of the day. So, we had the 2 criterium races for the first part, or day 1 of the Sherpa Stage Race. Kind of a bit of a day of disasters really.
Day of 2 halves.
Not even a day of 2 halves, just a day of disasters. Started fine. It was very, very hard. After a weekend of racing in Belgium that was really hard, I was thinking, oh, come back. Like, I saw the entry list and was like, okay, it's an entry list of high level people, but being a smaller field might be a bit more relaxed. Oh my god. I think my average power was about 40 to 50 watts more than, okay, it's a shorter race, only an hour instead of 2.5, but the power output was just crazy and it never settled down. Unfortunately, I was sort of mid-pack, which was fine. It was a breakaway up the road, so we weren't, you know, there wasn't going to be a sprint contesting for the win, but we were all in a group, so it was going to basically be same time for the whole field. I was sort of somewhere in the middle, and then there was basically a crash. Someone ran a bit wide out of one of the corners, grabbed a load of front brake, went into the barrier, came back onto the track, took a couple of people down with him, and I had to then swerve to the left and actually go on the grass. Managed to keep it upright, but then there was a big split in the race was split apart. It was only 2 corners to go, but luckily we all got given the same time, other than the 4 out front. So yeah, you know, as far as things go, positives were I didn't go down in a crash. Like I said to Corinne after that race, I said I've had far too many crashes happen around me, in front of me recently. It's very off-putting. And then race 2, unfortunately, and it's partly my fault, I went to redo my tyre pressures and I noticed the rear tyre had gone down. Now I've just fitted new tyres and actually sorted an issue, a slight puncture of one of the tubes the other day. So I was thinking, hang on, surely the patch hasn't come off anyway. It was a small bit of flint in the tyre. Unfortunately, the car park at the Colchester arena thing, it has stones in the car park, like it's tarmac, and then there's the parking spaces of stones, and I think I probably got this little bit of flint in the tyre on the way back after the first race. Admittedly, between the 2 races I didn't really look at, I did a little bit of playing about with the bike, actually with the drivetrain on my other bike, but I'm not quite happy with the shifting on that, so I don't really want to use it at the moment unless I absolutely have to, until I get it right. Pumped the tyre up hoping it would hold. Unfortunately it didn't. About 10 minutes from the end it was starting to get a little bit squidgy, and with the nature of how fast and hard the racing was, even in this second race, I decided to pull out. So annoying, frustrating. That's the 3rd stage race this year that I've done that I've had an issue, mechanical or self-inflicted, that has put me out of the general classification. But on the positives, no injuries, no crashes, solid day on the pedals, still, you know, building and learning every time out, and it means I'm free tomorrow. I'm not worrying about general classification, so I can really go for it and ride aggressively in the time trial and the road race. Well, the time trial I could just cruise around and save myself, but I want to have a good go at that. And yeah, let's see what tomorrow brings.
Good morning everybody, it's Sunday morning. It is probably about 10 to 9, and I am just making my way along this path to try and find my way to the time trial finish. I have absolutely no idea where I'm going. I'm just following this half and hoping that I will eventually end up near the finish. This is where I currently am. The cyclists are having to cycle the wrong way because otherwise it messes up the timing. So as you can see, there's someone just going past me in a second. So that's good. Yeah, so I got up this morning and I went for a 4k run. I don't know if we mentioned, but there was no sort of like easy kind of route last night when we were on our walk. It was lots of housing estates, so I didn't really know where I was going to be able to run and how far and stuff like that. But I managed to bag 4k, so I'm pretty happy with that. I am, however, so hungry. So I've had a cup of tea and I've had my banana this morning. And I usually have breakfast between 9 and 10. And Jack is taking off at 9:04 and he thinks he'll be done by about 9:15. So my plan is to have breakfast after, but it's not even 9 o'clock yet. And I am so hungry. So I'm majorly regretting my decision, but I'm sure I'll be fine. The view, however, is getting worse. The bank is getting more inclined and I seem to be further and further away from the road. So I'm really hoping that in a minute I will be able to see more. Otherwise I'm going to have to put in a run to try and get somewhere to actually be able to see him. So I've literally just had to run the last little bit and I've had to, I'm 1.5k from the car park and I'm here. This is part of the route, so that's good, and I've just decided to stay here because one, I'll probably never make it to the finishing time, and two, it's going to be a long old walk for me back. So he should have set off because he was 9:04 and it's about 5 or 6 minutes past now, so he should be coming through in the next few minutes. Hey?
It was.
Yeah. Come on, Jack! Hopefully you can hear me. I have seen Jack. He is a happy boy. Obviously, not everybody's gone yet, so he doesn't know where he came, but he's happy with his power output and all of that jazz. And people at the finish seemed pretty impressed as well, so I'm just making my way back now. I think all in all, it's going to have been a 40-minute walk for me. Just clocked over 3k, and I've still got about 10 minutes, I think, to get back. It's 28 minutes past 9. The place where we are doesn't open until 10. I really need a wee, so it's not looking good. But yeah, we'll check in with Jack when we get back, and then I will have my breakfast because I am starving.
I think so. Move up, you, move up.
Come on, Jack.
54.
Hello everybody, it is like 2 weeks after this last clip of Colchester, so we just thought that we'd come on and summarise. So Jack, cast your mind back a few weeks.
Casting my mind back. No. Yeah, it was a really good Sunday. Have we said about Sunday and the stuff? Is this
so literally the last clip kind of you speaking was Saturday night in the hotel, saying about the puncture.
Right.
I obviously got a few clips of you on the road, literally like 2 clips, because just for context, I had to drive to the feed zone, was in the side of the road, and how many laps was it? 12?
12, I think.
Was it 12 laps?
Yeah.
Basically had to kind of be on it every lap, so Jack, take it away. Because why?
I'm not sure why. Anyway. Sorry. So we had the time trial in the morning, 8 kilometres.
Oh yeah. No, I remember. Sorry. Yeah. So I filmed the time trial, and then we didn't check in with you. Yeah. Go on. Sorry.
So I'm a bit disappointed. I ended up, I think, 17th overall because I did my best 8 and 10 minute power. And not that it's totally relevant. Every ride is different, aerodynamics, timings, setup, whatever. But I know, because I know the guy who won, I matched. In fact, I slightly bettered, although I think he's a little bit lighter than me. It was a relatively flat course.
I actually betted the guy who won the time trial. So I feel a combination of conditions, aerodynamics, whatever. Maybe I just obviously needed more power, clearly. But the positives were set some power PB, so you know, the form and the legs, everything's going in the right direction. Then going into the road race, obviously I had nothing to lose, being so far down on GC after not finishing on Saturday afternoon. So yeah, it kind of was a little bit cagey to start with. There was a crash early on which took the yellow jersey, the leader of the, you know, the overall event, down. So kind of at the end of the first lap, there was a bit of a wait up for the leader, because that's sort of common practice in cycling, especially in the professionals. If the yellow jersey in the Tour de France or any sort of major stage race goes down, you wait for them. It's just a kind of a known rule, respect thing. You don't attack when the leaders, you know, if the leader stopped for a wee, you wouldn't attack at that point. That's very frowned upon. So anyway, there was a couple of incidents, and obviously being a small field and very windy, I kind of just suddenly said to myself, I was like, Jack, what are you doing? You're not in the GC. The only way you're going to get something out of this weekend is getting a result today, now. We've waited around all day for this. Get bloody stuck in. So I did. There was a couple of moves and I was kind of in it, then out of it, and it was back together. And then anyway, 3 guys jumped off the front, and I just thought to myself, right, this is going to be the move. Jumped, bridged over. Luckily it was probably only 5 or 10 seconds at this point. It looked like the rest of the race kind of sat up. Because I'm not sure if I've ever said, but in cycling, basically the reason I think a breakaway is allowed to go in any race is it just then calms the race down. Even if the breakaway then gets caught later on in the race, if there's never a breakaway group, basically the front of the race is always there's just attacks constantly going, people trying to get away. So by having a breakaway go up the road, it kind of just calms the race down. So yeah, 4 of us got away. We were away from that second lap all the way.
Hence why I needed to be there, because Jack was in the break, so therefore he was potentially going to want feeding and stuff a bit more frequently, because they're obviously working that much harder.
Yeah, so anyway, we got up the road. I think at one point our gap was up to sort of 1.5 minutes. At one point it was down to 20 seconds. We managed to obviously stay away. Unfortunately, 2 guys did bridge over to us on the last lap, which was unfortunate because one of those guys did actually end up winning the race. And then the other guy was obviously in the general classification and he ended up winning overall. Yeah, unfortunately I don't have the biggest peak power and sprint, and I kind of waited for the sprint and got, you know, jumped, ended up 5th, which was still a really, really good result. But looking back, I wish I'd have just jumped sort of a kilometre out from the finish and just done one of my sort of long range attacks. I've managed to...
You missed the big part as well. We had it all. It was raining.
Oh, sorry, yeah, it was because of the course. It's the same that's used for the Jock Wadley, a National B early in the season. It's relatively flat, but it's very, very windy because it goes past this reservoir, so it's all sort of very open. And yeah, it was really windy, and we had torrential rain halfway through. It was just an absolutely, you know, pretty mental day out. So yeah, really, really pleased to actually be, okay, it was only a small field, but it was a really strong field. So it was quite nice to be in the breakaway of a National B event of that, you know, length. And sorry, I was just remembering which side my filler's on. It's on the left, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's one down the end. Sorry, we're just coming to get diesel. Yeah, you know, to be in a breakaway in a National B event of that distance and, you know, severity and kind of level of competition was really, really good. Obviously I finished 9th in the road race in the Totnes Via, but that wasn't actually officially Nat B distance, that was 100k. So to actually get a solid top 10 in a race of that distance was really, you know, I can kind of look back at my year and say I've actually won some races, been at the sharp end of some 2-3s and some National B events, which for me is...
But you were even more annoyed, weren't you? Because had you then finished Saturday...
Yes. If everything had gone exactly as it did, I'd have been 4th on general classification, and I got in the time trial. I had an Ocado driver nearly wipe me out, so I'm convinced I could have, you know, if it
coulda, woulda, shoulda,
could have been top 3. That is bike racing. That's any competition. It just shows you.
He's just getting his fuel card out.
Yeah,
he's not been caught short.
No. Yeah. So yeah, to summarise, it's been a long ramble. It was a really, really good weekend. Lots of positives to take. be careful when you're riding on stones, especially with Michelin not super, I was going to say that's the cars out of my car, Michelin cut, whatever they are, the real fast, they're super fast tyre, but when you've got little stones and flint, it can be a bit deadly. So watch out, kids. See you later.
So basically just wanted to come back on here now and just end it. So thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one, which we're literally just about to start, so we'll be looking the exact same because it is the same day.